Why did Japan attack Pearl Harbor? The attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan on December 7, 1941, was a pivotal moment in World War II. Several key factors and motivations led to this decision. 1. Resource scarcity and economic pressures. Japan, an island nation with limited natural resources, especially oil, was highly dependent on imports. Throughout the 1930s, Japan expanded aggressively in Asia, including its invasion of China in 1937, which led to significant international condemnation and economic sanctions. The United States, in particular, imposed oil embargoes and trade restrictions on Japan, severely threatening its energy supplies and economic stability. 2. Strategic ambitions in Asia and the Pacific. Japan sought to establish dominance in Asia and the Pacific, aiming to create a Greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere, which was essentially a Japanese-controlled bloc of Asian nations. To achieve this, Japan needed to neutralize American power in the Pacific, which was seen as the primary obstacle to its expansionist goals. 3. Preemptive strike strategy. Japanese military leaders believed that a swift and decisive attack on the U.S. Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor would prevent the United States from interfering with its plans to seize territories rich in resources in Southeast Asia. They hoped that by crippling the U.S. fleet, they could secure a period of uncontested expansion, during which they could fortify their new territories and present the U.S. with a formidable defensive perimeter. 4. Diplomatic failures and miscalculations. Negotiations between the United States and Japan in the months leading up to Pearl Harbor failed to resolve their differences. Japan saw the embargoes and sanctions as acts of aggression and believed that the U.S. was unlikely to lift them unless Japan abandoned its imperial ambitions, which Japan was unwilling to do. The Japanese government, underestimating American resolve, believed that a surprise attack would demoralize the U.S. and force it into negotiations favorable to Japan. 5. Military planning and execution. The attack was meticulously planned by Admiral Yamamoto, who understood the significant risk but also the potential strategic advantage. The Japanese military trained rigorously for the mission, aiming to deliver a knockout blow that would give Japan the time needed to consolidate its gains in Asia. Immediate consequences. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a tactical success for Japan, as it significantly damaged the U.S. Pacific Fleet, sinking 4 battleships and damaging several others. However, it failed to destroy American aircraft carriers, which were not in the harbor at the time, and crucial shore facilities. Long-term impact. The attack had the opposite effect of what Japan intended. Instead of deterring the United States, it galvanized American public opinion and led to the U.S. declaring war on Japan the next day. Subsequently, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States, bringing America fully into World War II. The American industrial and military response ultimately overwhelmed Japan, leading to its defeat in 1945. Conclusion. In summary, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor due to a combination of resource scarcity, strategic ambitions, preemptive military strategy, and diplomatic failures. While the attack was initially successful, it ultimately led to Japan's defeat by drawing the United States into World War II.